If you have ever watched a politician smile to your face and wondered how they sleep at night, this video is going to completely change how you see power, leadership, and the uncomfortable truth about the whole world actually works. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss content like this. Let's get into it. Every election cycle in America, we go through the same cycle. A politician gets caught in a lie, a flip-flop, a backroom deal, and half the country acts shocked. Cable news runs it for a week, Twitter explodes, and then it happens again. But what if the problem isn't the politicians? What if the problem is that we have been thinking about politicians and power completely wrong this entire time? That's exactly what a 15th century Italian thinker named Niccolo Machiavelli argued. And 500 years later, his ideas are still so uncomfortable, so brutally honest, that most people would rather dismiss him than actually sit with what he's saying. Machiavelli was born in Florence in 1469. His father was a lawyer, which meant Franz got a serious formal education and landed a position as secretary for the city of Florence early in his career. He was on track. He had momentum. Then Florence imploded politically. The Medici family, who had ruled the city for 60 years, got expelled. The city fell into decades of instability and chaos, and Machiavelli's career went with it. Over the span of a few years, he went from respected diplomat to military commander to enemy of the state. When the Medicis came back to power, he was arrested, tortured, and thrown into exile. So here's the thing about Machiavelli that most people miss. He wasn't some cold-blooded theorist writing from a throne. He was a man who had seen power up close, gotten burned by it, and then spent the rest of his life trying to understand it honestly. The result was two works that got him banned by the Catholic Church for 2 centuries, The Prince and the Discourses. And the core argument he made in those pages was this: it is almost impossible to be both a great leader and a good person in the traditional moral sense, and pretending otherwise doesn't make you righteous, it makes you dangerous. Now, before you write that off, hear him out, because this is where it gets interesting. Machiavelli's whole starting point was a question that every American voter wrestles with, whether they realize it or not. What is a leader actually for? His answer was clear. The primary job of a leader is to protect and strengthen the state, to keep things stable, to defend the people from external threats and internal collapse. Everything else is secondary. And if that's the job, then kindness, generosity, and playing by moral rulebook aren't always the right tools. Sometimes the job requires something harder. He wrote that a leader should make people neither think he's soft enough to walk over, nor so brutal that he disgusts the people he governs. The goal is to appear unapproachably firm but fair, intimidating but not monstrous. And when Machiavelli got to the question of whether it's better for a leader to be loved or feared, he didn't sugarcoat it. He said, when you have to choose, fear wins, because love is conditional. People love you when things are going well. Fear is reliable. Fear keeps order even when things fall apart. That might make you uncomfortable. It should. But look around at how power actually operates in this country. In corporate boardrooms, in Washington, in Wall Street, in Hollywood. And tell me Machiavelli was wrong. To drive his point home, Machiavelli pointed to a man named Girolamo Savonarola, a Dominican friar who briefly came to power in Florence in 1494. Savonarola was the real deal. Genuinely devout, idealistic, morally serious, he promised the people a just city. He preached against corruption. He actually ran Florence as a relatively peaceful, democratic, honest state for a period of time. And then he got captured, tortured, hung in the center of the city. And his body was burned in public because being good wasn't enough to protect him. And Machiavelli looked at that and said, this is what happens to the nice guys. Not because goodness is wrong, but because goodness without power is just vulnerability with better PR. Instead, Machiavelli proposed something he called virtue. And this is not virtue in the Sunday school scene. Machiavelli's virtue for leaders means wisdom, strategic thinking, physical and mental toughness, courage, and what the moment demands it, ruthlessness. He even used a phrase that sounds like a contradiction until you really think about it. Criminal virtue. The capacity of a leader to do something that looks cruel on the surface but serves the long-term stability and protection of the people they govern. And he gave very specific criteria for what and when that's justified. Any use of force has to be strictly necessary for the security of the state. It has to be done decisively, quickly, and it can become a habit, because a reputation for mindless brutality is just as dangerous as being too soft. His model for this was Cesare Borgia, one of the most powerful and controversial figures of Renaissance Italy. When Borgia took control of a lawless region, he sent in a brutal enforcers named Ramiro di Corco to restore order fast by any means necessary. Di Corco did exactly that through methods that were by any standard savage. Then Borgia had Di Corco publicly executed, cut in half and placed in the town square for everyone to see, not because Borgia suddenly grew a conscience, but because Di Corco has served his purpose. The message was sent, the chaos was over, and now it was the time to move forward. So Borgia cut taxes, brought in cheap grains, built a theater, through festivals. He gave the people stability and prosperity and made sure they associated both with him, not with the violence that made it possible. Machiavelli thought this was brilliant. And if you replace Renaissance Italy with modern corporate America, the executive who makes a round of brutal layoff stabilizes the company. The rolls out employees benefit and a culture initiative too. The structure is exactly the same. Now the Catholic Church banned Machiavelli's work for 200 years because of how aggressively he argued that being a good Christian and being a good leader were fundamentally incompatible goals. But you don't have to be religious or a politician for this to hit home. Because Machiavelli's deeper point wasn't just about governing a country. It was about life, business, family, every space where we have to make a real decision with real consciousness and real consequences. He was saying you cannot be great at everything for everyone all the time. Not because you're weak, but because moral codes conflicts with each other. Because resources are limited. Because sometimes doing the right thing for the group means doing something that feels wrong to the individual. In corporate America, you might have to get loyal employee to keep the business alive. In a relationship, you might have to say something brutally honest that causes short-term pain to prevent long-term damage. In leadership of any kind, you will face moments where kindness and effectiveness points in opposite directions, and you will have to choose. Machiavelli's argument is that the people who pretend that choice doesn't exist are the most dangerous people in any room. Because they are either lying to you or lying to themselves. The world has spent 5 centuries both living and hating Machiavelli's for same reason he refuses to let us have it both ways. He forces us to look at the tension between two things every American wants to live and believe can coexist: being effective and being kind. Sometimes they can, and sometimes they can't. The question isn't which one is right. The question is whether you're honest enough with yourself to know which one of the moment actually requires. That's Machiavelli, and 500 years later, he's still making people uncomfortable because he's still right. If this video made you think differently about power, leadership, and the world you're actually living in, drop a comment below. Tell me, do you think it's possible to be both truly effective and truly good? I want to know where you stand. And if you want more content that breaks down the philosophy behind power, mindset, and the way the world actually works, subscribe right now. We go deep on this channel and we just getting started.